Alright, Gary, we'll continue on our journey. I played with the color settings a little bit with the screen and such, so we'll see. Maybe it'll be a little better. Let's see. What I'm going to start to do is we'll see if we can start to piece this back together. We have to first kind of unconnect our little ribbon cable again that we have here, connecting these two boards together. Just get in there just right. Alright, that's loose. We're free. Alright, so got everything there. Sure this lifts up. That does. Move a little foam out of the way. We'll set this down for just a second. Now that we're separated, Sonic 2 out of there. Move this guy out of the way. And let's see, let's go this way. We'll line everything up again. But let's see real quick, see back on the back of this. We're just going to put something on here, just a space between there. Like I said, there's going to be a little bit of a gap, but just to be safe. And I got to wipe these pads down a little bit. Some soap and water spray will help. Let me wipe it off real quick.
I'm one of those people that I wake up smiling, knee pain and foot pain.
You could ignore whatever advertisement just came on my computer. I have no idea what that was. Let's see. You never know what runs in the background in these things sometimes. You leave an internet page open. Let's see. That's what happens if you try to listen to music for free on the internet. Something running in the background. Oh well. Alright, so wipe that pad off. Let's do that again to your other pads. You're like, cleaning pads, that's not very fun. But it's good to know that they're clean, isn't it? Because if you were doing this, you would want to clean the pads too. Or anybody else that was buying one of these things. And all their buttons and pads nice and clean. I know I did a lot of this other boring stuff, like cleaning off camera, but I already hit record. Like I said, I'm not the editing pro, so it's just going to stay how it is. I noticed when I was looking back at the beginning of my video that I had on the phone, I have my head cut off, kind of like a reverse Wilson on Home Improvement, if you remember that show, but oh well. You get to look at this mug a little bit here and there, but not really a big deal. All these buttons wiped down. Who knows what little mongrel had this before. And whoever reseller on eBay that likes to overcharge for this stuff because they know people like to collect them. Not that they actually care for the unit. It's probably just sitting there uncared for the whole time. So we saw how dirty it was. Alright. All those wiped down. Let's get our start and select button cleaned up. And then clean this one off. Okay. Alright, so got the gunk off there. And we're going to start to assemble this part. One area where the little daughter board piece is actually handy because you can just work on one half at a time. Let's see. Well, the big ones are on the bottom. Get each of these put back in there. Little black black ones are on the top. Okay, put those back in. Got a little pad, put that back on there. Get that lined up. Our D-pad. Like I said, the pads in this unit are actually in really good shape, so I bet the person that had it before barely used it. Probably just threw it in a shoebox or something for a while after that. And we gotta put our speaker back, don't we? Oh, it's got a little dirt on it, so let's clean your speaker off. Just a little, not too much pressure. I don't want to hurt our speaker. Let's wipe it down. There's some dust on there. Okay. And this little thing that holds the speaker in place, that kind of goes right in here. And it lines up right there. And to figure out, I believe it goes like this. There's like a little nub or something right here that lines up with this little pin. Alright. Now that's on there. So let's see. Yep, that's the right way. You can tell it's the right way because there's a little line. Helps keep the speaker aligned with the grill. So, and then let's grab our little screws. I keep burying all my screwdrivers and other things. Alright. So each of our little screws back in there. Let's just hold it down. You turn it backwards for a second so you hear it make that little, a little click sound, a little bump sound. And just do that so it aligns up with the existing threads in the hole, so we're not making new threads. So always do that, especially with these old consoles. Turn it backwards first, and you hear that little click. Then you know it lined up with the thread holes. We're going to gently screw it down. Make sure it's snug but not too tight. Alright. So I'm going to reconnect that back to our board. And we got to protect that. All these different things around here collected from all these people. So you gotta buy stuff from these guys. They're pretty cool guys. I think what I got might have been the soundboard in your Genesis from there, or at one point I had a mega amp from them, I think, and a few other things. This will probably fit. You probably know that guy. You're gonna have the only one, I guess, inside of his Nomad, because I'm gonna use it just to cover the back of our little circuit board here. So I'm just gonna snip a little bit of this up, only because I seem to get these stickers every time I buy something there. It's actually really excited because today I bought something, bought a few things, and I finally bought something that my ROX 10 code worked on. So I was really happy. I saved like $6 and some change. It's pretty nice. At least on one of the items I purchased. So that was good. I would have bought it either way, but it was nice to have that. Alright. Well, we peeled him off. Let's see if we can get him right in there. There we go. Now, he should stay out of the way of our buttons, but he's going to help protect our board here. Like I said, nothing too crazy. Let's say good board protector. Like I said, probably didn't need to put anything there, but just in case, this is a little bit of things exposed. So we'll flip this around. Move this up. Now, I don't think I have to trim any of that wire off. I could take more off, but I think it'll be okay. Let's see, what do I have backwards, don't I? Let's see. Yep, got it the wrong way. Of course I do. You're going the wrong way. This goes right here. It's a little path. I've got that. Get their little wires out of the way. Let's get everything kind of realigned. Okay. Looks like we got a little bit of my wire in my own way. There we go. The thing is, let's check our D-pads over here. That one too. So it's not pushed down all the way yet, but it's okay. The main thing is we want to make sure our buttons work. Otherwise it's pulling it all the way back apart. That's not fun. Well, that's also what all the screws are for. To hold this snugly against those buttons. See, when we're done with this, we're just going to take this wire and tuck it in where the extra pocket was from the old screen. So we're just going to carefully take our time and put all of our screws back in. Alright. Actually, I think I have a larger screw for that, but you're going to be a placeholder for a second. Alright, let's start up here. Go backwards and forwards. Okay, got one down. Let's get us all aligned just right. The main thing is we have to make sure we maintain certain areas. See, with the back of this, because this lines up with like this hole, and this hole, and probably that one. So we're going to make sure we keep those clear and don't put screws, or we're just going to have to take them out again. Goes. You know why that screw in there? I just remembered. This guy, for whatever reason, just put it on one side. Oh, that's where the that's where that weird screw goes. We're going to use a special bit on the other side, so I'm going to take that one out, but I didn't think it went there, but I remember that now. We really only need this one. Okay, so we'll go back this friend out. The hole's bigger because it's where the other screw. Carefully grab this. If I can, otherwise I'll use something else. Here we go. Of course, drop the screw. He doesn't love doing that. That's why they make magnetics, and I should have grabbed it. Alright, so we got these in. And we've got all of our other screws for the other side of our board here. So let's check. Down, up, right, left, A, B, C, X, Y, Z, start mode. Must be like those are pressing okay. And we'll, of course, always check that 100% when we start to button this back up completely. Okay, just gonna get this guy folded up. That way, if we ever need to take them apart, you've got a little bit of movement. Wiggle room. It's always good. Just pushing that down on the underside. There we go. Let that in there so it stays put for us. I think that's it, because you know what else we have to do now that we have this put together? To clean all my fingerprints off there again. Is I've got to work a little more with this guy. Let's put it in there for a second. Move this up here. A little cushion so our screen doesn't get hurt. So this guy, I'm going to take him apart some more. We'll keep these older screws, as these four went to hold in this original display, because they went in these. But I don't need those right now, so we'll set them aside. Maybe that's another souvenir I can send you to go with it, in case you need them for something. I want to start taking this guy apart because we can make this thing just a little bit better. And it's quite a bit of, I don't know, it was a little bit of a pain when I did mine, but we'll do it to this one too. We gotta pull all this apart, because if we can get to the chips on it, we can actually enable the Sega Master System mode, so you can play Master System games with your EverDrive or other type of converters that fit on your Nomad, which is kind of cool. Unfortunately, I don't know why Sega decided not to just enable the feature. It's perfectly capable of doing it. But I guess at the time, I mean, who carries around a power-based converter? But they could have done something. Because it's just one wire. Albeit it's a tiny, tiny wire. And a real pain to solder. And kind of scary, because you have to touch the wire to the main chip on here. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it anyway. Got that loose, but it's not undone yet. So screws in here. Oh, they're just floating in place. Take that out. Take that one out. There's tools all over the place. Let's see if we can get any looser. I think it's already loose. I'll double check. That's wanting to hang on. And this one. Okay. Metal shield. See if it's ready to come up or not. There it goes. Let's find something to grip. Alright. Now, there we go. Little spring door here. This is the part we're going to have to clean up some too. Didn't get to clean this half yet, so it's still got a lot of gunk on it. So that was a perfect opportunity to take all this stuff out of here. Just be very careful when we clean that we don't hurt the label. Okay. Wow, pretty sticky, gooey stuff on there. I'm glad you're not touching it. Couple more screws. That's our cartridge connector. Alright, both those out. Trying to be careful here with you, Sega. But some of the stickies and this port. Weird stuff raining out of here. What it is actually this right here. Cartridge port. And then the battery connectors kind of holds it in place, so you have to kind of gently pull it at an angle. So you always have to test your patience working on this stuff, because you can do more harm than good if you're not careful. And you can make a potentially an expensive mistake. So, almost. I can feel it wanting to come out. There we go. Pull in the back. Let's see. Alright. It looks like it's in okay shape, but we gotta run a wire from one of these tiny, tiny little guys on here. I don't even freaking focus well, but where is that? But essentially, we're going to count backwards from here, from 52, if we can get it in the screen. And we got to find pin 45 on here. So just going backwards, 52, 51, 50, and so on. We're going to find 45. I know when I did mine, it's kind of around where there's like a white dot or something printed on the board. Might be hard to see again, but if you can see that white dot, not the first one near the 52, but around where that second one is, between kind of these two gold holes, I believe it was that one. So I got to count backwards and find some wire that we can connect that with. So we're just going to run it to the cartridge pin. I think it was B3 that I was going to connect it to, but Let's find some wire. I want to find some really small wire. So let me do that. I will be right back. Find some wire.